you kind of wonder sometimes coming off a scrimmage like we had yesterday, first day where we had like a bunch of heat, and 116 plays. That was a great tempo. It really was the answer on how you were going to do coming out today, and our guys answered the bell, and that makes it feel good. Yesterday's kind of injury update. Slager will go in. It's not broken, but he's going to be out for a little bit with that leg, and then shoot, that's about it. So we're doing pretty good.
Is it ankle injury for like high ankle on
here's the beautiful thing. There's no such thing as just an ankle sprain anymore. Right. Is a high ankle sprain. So somebody tell me what that is, right? He's got a bad ankle.
What does that do for the depth at safety?
Well, actually, it's one of those positions where we've got some choices, and some young guys are really doing a good job. Guy that really showed up in the scrimmage, two guys at safety, and a lot of them did. KPL did a great job with his effort. But as far as those new guys, I really like Willie Udofia. I thought really took some strides in that scrimmage. And Montre Taylor, you know what? He's going to help us.
Could Schlager be back by opener? Or?
At this point, who knows? And yet, it's just you got to go, right?
It seemed like Kevin Davis also had a pretty good scrimmage yesterday. What do you like about the way he's moving now as opposed to a year ago when you were hopeful to get him back?
So much more confidence on that knee, and the kind of surgery that he had on that knee, really, it is a year-long deal. Mm-hmm. So us being able to a year ago redshirt him, you can see that he's not favoring it, and he's just playing. He actually played 3 of the linebacker positions in the scrimmage, so that's a good thing.
What does that flexibility bring to your defense that he can back up a Max or an Aaron, or as he's doing right now, really filling in where Corey's spot is?
Well, I think the one thing is we consider him a starter, and it's a matter of what position it's at, and so his flexibility not only help us but going to help him in the future.
And I know he came in as a middle linebacker, but does he look better at the outside, especially now with the way he's moving?
Yeah, I said the confidence that he has, and he's not really even thinking about that knee.
Okay.
How much further along is the secondary from into last year? I mean, Garrett's saying he's been throwing more picks, and he's not.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's a bad thing, but he likes that the defense is coming along too.
Well, I tell you what, I hope he's not point shaving.
Yeah.
But no, I know those guys have really gotten together in the offseason and said, you know what, this is something we need to get strengthened up. And guys, we brought some good players in here too, back there that are going to play. And as I've always said, competition is the one thing in a position to play better.
Can you talked about in your recruiting classes, you felt like you targeted 2 areas you wanted when you first got here, and that's improving overall team speed and some size. How is that going to help you on special teams this year?
Just the depth factor, number one. That first year, a lot of guys were snaps. I mean, I still go back to Lance Titania, who played 114 snaps in a game. That just shouldn't happen. I know he's going to come back and get me someday for that. But that's called player abuse, right? But at the same time, hopefully now we've developed some depth that a lot of guys can play and contribute to helping us be successful.
And who are some of those young guys that are going to be able to make their mark on special teams this year?
The names are numerous, and right now it's one of those deals where they're not only fighting for an offense or defensive position, but now they're fighting to be the left gunner. Now they're fighting to be R3. Now they're fighting to be, the wing and punt. All of those type of things. So when you see the competition move, not only from offense to defense, but now, hey, I want to get on the bus. I'm going to do it through special teams. And you're starting to see some guys saying, I want to be on there.
But special teams is one of the first areas on a football team where you can see if recruiting classes are making an impact.
No doubt about it, 100%. And, as we talked about from the start, you're a starter on special teams before you're ever a starter on offense or defense.
How are things shaping up at the running back position?
Our depth is something that I'm really kind of, that I was nervous going in, but now I know that we have some choices. We've got some choices and different style backs, which will then help us be a little more diverse offensively. Things they're able to do not only in the run game but in the pass game and the protection part.
I know you liked what you saw live yesterday from your backs. When you went back and watched it on the film, were you even more impressed?
I was. There's some things where still they're not quite, there's a thing called, patience to the hole, speed through the hole. And, we had some guys wanting to make those explosive plays and maybe cutting back a little early or not staying with it in the hole or staying with the puller or whatever that is. And so those are things that we need to correct, and yet we're able to see it on film. Good.
Coach, I have a couple general things. Just sure. I'm the Channel 4. We don't come up much, so I just.
I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I just want to cover
It's a
some
beautiful day up here.
things. It is.